Sisters,
we shall not yield to tyranny.
Our cause just we will prevail. The fight
Hello,
for our
history
rights.
buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Bobby, at this
Hello,
point,
history.
shame on you. Shame on you. Because we are being played as the American people. Our money is funding a war that we don't need to be in. Shouldn't be okay with it. So as long as I have breath in my body and a mic to use, I will be speaking out against this.
A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
The economy, we have a global economy. That's why we're the number one economy in the world. I know that a lot of people want to paint the horrible view of America, but, you know, go live somewhere else and then tell me America's bad.
Patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty. This is
It is
what
so
American
freaking crazy to me that we have an conflict with Iran before a single person from the Epstein files has been arrested on American soil.
The hour our liberty is at hand. For freedom is proper. Brothers
Yeah, I
and
was
sisters.
working, man, you know, but it's good to see Rippy out there handling business, man. And again, hey, there's a lot of black Trump supporters, man. I mean, it feels good to see that, man. So I'm...
My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
A real coach. People are getting sick of it. The moment a celebrity steps slightly outside the leftist approved narrative, they get attacked. Chili from TLC gets eat over allegedly donating to Donald Trump.
For liberty. The British advance. We must act.
Our supplies are low, but morale is high.
Then we fight for liberty.
Alpayne's war captures the spirit of we fight for independence.
With
Welcome to my
that said they were anti-war. I think they said no new wars. Yeah, they voted for a president that was not going to start any new wars. And what's funny to me is that not only were you lied to, not only did this man start this and get out of the
freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Just in order to get the Greater Israel Project accomplished, you have to kill people. That's why it's wrong. Killing people is wrong. Full stop. So you can try to make sense of it with, well, it's a threat and this and that. There's no greater threat than the United States empire.
To the encampment. For liberty.
And what I've learned, and I'm not a liberal or a Democrat. I voted for Trump the first time, but he's become a politician. He lies like all the other politicians. He deceives like all the other politicians.
Endures through every change and challenge. We stand at the dawn of liberty, unshaken by the trials ahead. Our cause in
I'm going to go out on the limb and say anybody that sits in that oval does not like Americans. They love United States, though, which is the politics, but they don't love the Americans. Americans are farmers. Americans are mechanics. Americans are school teachers. Americans are mom and pop businesses.
And flaming! Soldiers, the enemy is near.
Not only do I love my FBA fam, my Black American fam, my Black people on code, you know, my people that's allies with us, as part of the fam. I love y'all. I love my country too. You feel me?
The cause to victory.
To victory. These pastries are wonderful.
Indeed, but we must stay vigilant.
You're my favorite toy. You do everything I say. You go wherever I point you. And the best part is, you think it's all your idea.
BB! Put those stupid toys away and come eat your breakfast. You have a very busy day of destroying nations today.
That boy really abuses those stupid toys.
What the hell are you guys looking at? On your feet! We're going to war. I don't know who we're fighting or why, but Bibby said go, so we're going. Don't ask questions. Move out. I gave that kid everything he asked for, and I still ended up on the floor. Good luck, Jack. Hey, zip it, Sleepy Joe. Can you not see I'm building something very important here? This is the third temple. Come on, man. And when Bibby sees it, he's going to realize I'm his favorite toy.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Ray Mars.
Rabbi Andre Williams.
I'm the Ratchet Christian.
Hi, I'm Kim.
And tonight on the new party, we're going to have some laughs. It's going to be lighthearted. We won't talk about Iran tonight. So if you come for that kind of party, you're going to have a break because we're all over the Iran ceasefire talk. But we are calling MAGA to the front of the congregation. MAGA, please come to the front. We need you. We need you to come to the front and speak to why we should not be offended by this Jesus-looking picture, why Trump is now going after the Pope, one of the most important people in the world, especially the Catholics. So I need to understand it. So we're going to play some clips and we're going to allow MAGA to come and talk to us. Is anyone here MAGA tonight? Okay, we have one MAGA, two MAGA, three MAGA, but you guys are not the real MAGA. You guys are leftists. Let me play the real MAGA. This is the real MAGA right here.
And doing all this crazy stuff, and then you mad at him for a tweet.
Mr. President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as the doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
Now, I don't know if I agree to that, what he just said. I don't know if he's trying to save face or he really believed it. To me, it looked like the healer, Jesus, the healer, that healed people and all this other stuff. It does have the American flag in it and everything, so clearly this is not totally a religious thing because Jesus ain't got really nothing to do with an American flag. You know, there was no American flag when Jesus was healing people on earth. But I will say this too, for all the people that get so open arms about this stuff, I do think that it is off-colored a little bit for Trump to do this. But I think people also forget that there is a lot of other people in the Bible, and I know this is not depicted as Jesus, I think it is, but there's a lot of other people in the Bible that healed and did miracles and a lot of other great things. And I can see how Trump could have a parallel of saying it's one person that's doing these great things. You know, most of us, if we actually read our Bible, we should be doing miracles too. We should be healing, laying hands on people. We should be doing all kind of stuff. But the majority of the church, they just go on Easter Sunday and show a picture with their family, and they don't even go to church consistently or read their Bible or pray. I'm just throwing it out there. I just got so upset over the holier of the thou stuff that I've been seeing.
Rabbi Andre, this is somebody who has been your friend online. He's personally called you out. Why are you not offended? You said you're MAGA. So Are you offended? Yes or no? Why should we or shouldn't we?
I'm the old MAGA that watched Trump come down the escalator. Oh, no, fuck that. When I was 12, watching him do the roast of Donald Trump, and he was like, I'm going to run for president. I was sold then. But this Donald Trump now is the greatest goy of Israel, as I said in the chat. That's what he is, the greatest goy of Israel. And of course, bootlickers like Brandon Tatum can't have their own opinion. This is the problem with niggas. Niggas don't have their own train of thought or their own opinion. They just regurgitate what's on the television. You know, what rapper said this, what celebrity said that. This is like another tier of nigga shit from the right, honestly. So Brandon Tatum is a bought and paid for Jew bootlicker that went to Israel and got spit on and told Bibi, we got spit on, nigga. That was actually cool. It was actually pretty. That was spit on me once. It's actually fun. It's like, okay, dude. When we talk about like house Negroes, now that's a house nigger right there. I'm just going to be honest right there. For Jews, honestly, he is. I'm just being honest. That's how he is. But am I offended by, the Jesus stuff?
He gave $300,000 to Erica Kirk. Do you know that?
He did. This actress, okay, yeah, she gave $300 to Erica Kirk. That's great, so she could act in another film. I can't stand Erica Kirk. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the race mixing stuff. I mean, do what you want, but Candace and Kirk would have been great. Honestly, that would have been better than Erica and Kirk, because that's what ended up getting him killed. But am I offended by it? Yeah, I am. As a Christian, I am. When it came to the Pope, I'm offended by that as well. We can't sit back and talk about how we're God and country, and it's like, well, he's the healer. The fuck is this, Fortnite? He's the healer? Is he playing the role on is this Battlefield? Is he the medic?
Don't disparage Fortnite like that. Come on.
Yeah, fuck Fortnite. I can't. That ruined gaming for me. I can't stand Fortnite. All right.
Well, you know what, Andre? No offense, you're not MAGA. So let me play another MAGA, and we'll get everybody else in here.
Oh, we have the backstory that makes it all make sense. I wonder how every single person that jumped to conclusions thinking that President Trump was trying to depict himself as the Messiah feels now. So Nick Adams is actually the one that created the picture of President Trump laying his hands on the guy in the hospital bed, basically. He posted the original image in February 4th. Everybody loved it. His description was, President Trump is healing America. Nobody had a problem with it. Somebody took the image, adjusted the military people in the sky to make it look a little bit more like they're angels or something. All they did. That's who's Trump's team posted, probably with the same understanding that this image is Trump healing America, which everybody's prayed for and believe that that's exactly what he's doing. Most Christians and people of faith support President Trump because he's got the White House Office of Faith right next to the Oval Office. He's done more for religious liberties than any past president that I know of. They still want to attack him. People just didn't wait. Why is everybody so quick to jump to conclusions and throw stones at a man that's literally trying to defend and save this country? And I firmly believe God chose him to do it. God selected him to do it, and God wasn't tripping when he saw that image.
Ratchet Christian, welcome back. Thank you for coming. The TMZ superstar herself. Ratchet, you are a Christian.
Yes.
Should we be offended by that picture? Why or why not?
I mean, like, I'm just astonished at the level of mental gymnastics that people are going through to justify this. Like, it is like a bizarre level, Boondocks caricature level of craziness to gaslight people to make this other than what it already is, what it obviously is. And before I get into that, shout out Andre Williams, by the way. I was just watching your Soft White Underbelly episode while I was folding my clothes this weekend. I watched your episode and it was great. So it's awesome to be on a panel with you. Nora, as always, I love you. Thanks for having me on. But to get back to what it is that I was saying, like, to me, the level of gymnastics that they're going through to make this other than what it obviously is insane. I voted for Trump for the first time this past election. And I almost feel like, wow, like the PSYOP worked on me. Like, at one point, was I like this? Did I go out of my way to justify things that were like literally insane? You know, like, I voted for Trump and this was not what it is that I voted for. I'm very disappointed in how things are going. And as a Christian, I'm extremely offended We know that when you see something like that, the first thing that comes to mind is Jesus. And to try to gaslight people into thinking that it's something other than what it is actually quite scary, and it's insulting. And to me, I feel like they really don't respect the American people. They really think that we are idiots and that we're foolish. And I'm like embarrassed that as people of color, we're the ones that are going out of our way to defend something that's so obviously like wrong. He's making fun of Jesus. He's doing it right around our holiest holidays. And clearly he doesn't care. And that to me is just like a slap in the face after all the 500 slaps in the face that we've gotten as people who have voted for him. It's embarrassing.
I agree. And I think the saddest part is when you question it and you call it out as a Trump voter, you get threatened to be kicked out the crew. Let me play this clip right here. This guy is a MAGA Trump voter. He has a hat on, everything. And this is what people are saying because he's questioning things.
Change your mind on something when presented. Thoughts on James? Well, they say the biggest measure of intelligence is being able to change your mind on something when presented with new information. I posted a video last week that's ruffled some feathers on the internet, essentially admitting that I was wrong about my support for Trump and the whole MAGA movement, just based on everything going on right now. What's happening isn't what I voted for, and it isn't what I expected to happen. And I admitted it to the entire world that I was wrong. You know what happened? I've been getting torn apart by the same people that claim they want accountability. How could you fall for that? You're the reason we're in this mess. I don't accept your forgiveness. Newsflash, I didn't post that for your forgiveness. Quite frankly, I could give a shit about that. I posted it because on this page, publicly, I talked about my support for him. And although my views didn't change, I was wrong about that as we're presented with new information. So I felt like it was right to share. That's it. What I'm reminded of is the fact that you'll never satisfy haters, right? Whatever group falls into that hater category, you're never going to satisfy them. So stop doing shit for them. Instead, be a man, admit when you're wrong, have some integrity, and realize that this guy right here didn't die on a cross for you to go around pointing blame at others for all of their mistakes, knowing well that you live a sinful life yourself. The fact that people try to punish you for admitting you're wrong is exactly why no one does it. So I'm going to keep doing it. I hope that you keep doing it because that'll make the world a whole lot better of a place. Oh, they say.
Mia, I got to watch some of last night. You say you're not you're not necessarily Christian, but you were offended by what Trump posted. What is your thoughts and why should people be offended? And what do you think about what that guy said, admitting he's wrong? Do you think you were wrong for voting for Trump?
Well, I mean, I commend that man for admitting how he feels and saying it on a public platform. That's incredibly difficult, to admit to yourself that you made a mistake, and then to say that out loud and to say it for judgment of other people. So it takes a lot of strength to admit something that you've done wrong. So I commend him for doing that. And I feel a little empathy towards him because obviously it sucks to have, your followers turn on you, but also the other side turn on you as well. So now you're being attacked on two fronts. So I have a lot of empathy for that. I'm not very religious, and I definitely found like the whole situation distasteful and offensive. I mean, I understand he's trying to say that he is a doctor. I've worked with doctors for years, and I've never seen a motherfucking doctor that looked like that. I don't know. I've worked with doctors that wear cowboy boots to work. All right. I've seen it all. I have seen it all, and I have never seen a doctor look like that. So, I mean, the mental gymnastics he is doing to try to save a little bit of face is crazy to me. The cognitive dissonance that's happening in this country is crazy as well. And I was really hoping that Donald Trump was going to drain the swamp. I was really hoping that a lot of things would be different and we would move in a different direction. But after the genocide of Gaza that's still going on, after the fact that Bibi Netanyahu admits that our president calls him every day and asks him how to run our government, and the fact that we now have whistleblowers from the NSA, CIA, and FBI that are coming forward saying that we have Israeli Mossad agents inside our buildings, our highly secured buildings, running shit, that we have been literally infiltrated by a foreign entity. Yeah, no, he needs the 25th Amendment. We need to get him out, and we need to get America to be run by Americans because he is very much infiltrated. And the whistleblowers from the military alone should tell you that something's happening.
Yeah. But I got more MAGA. They said fuck all that. They don't care what you gotta say. This is the other MAGA person. This is what she had to say. She said she's not religious, she's not offended, and you shouldn't be either. Let's watch.
Are in a twist because of this photo that Trump posted. I am not religious. Don't let this fool you. This is my grandfather's. This is also a macaroni stain. This is fucking hysterical. How do I join this religion of Trumpus Christos of the United States of the Americas? How do I join it? You act like you didn't see this coming. We got the crackers. We got the whining. Hello. We've already started the religion. Grow the fuck up. This shit is funny. I woke up and everyone's nipples are in a twist because of this photo.
So, Kimberly, everyone's nipples are in a twist, she said. Why are you so offended? What's the problem, Kimberly? Why should we be or not be offended? I'm going to be honest with you, Kim, because I think me and you see the whole Gaza thing very similar. You're a little bit more passionate than me. When Trump posted that video of the gold and the statues and all that about a year ago, I was very emotional. So this is like nothing for me at this point. Which one was worse to you? When do you think people should have been offended? Are they offended a year too late? Or do you think that this is as bad or worse?
I think this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Am I saying that right? Because he's done and said worst shit. But I think we're really dealing with the effects of his horrible policies. And I don't think this is cognitive dissonance anymore. I think this is an illness. And it's not even mental gymnastics. It's a freaking brain tumor. It's really bad. But you guys, Barack Obama wore a tan suit once. So, like, I'm glad for Ratchet. I am so happy for your introspection and that very attractive guy that you just played. Very attractive. Introspection and self-awareness is very attractive. I'm glad we're all starting to see it. Trump has always been like this. He's always been very offensive. He's always said, grab him by the pussy. And I saw a lot of people turning themselves into freaking pretzels, trying to excuse grab him by the pussy. That's borderline assault. Like, that was bad. So I'm glad we're all starting to see it now. He's always been bad. He always will be bad. I think the fact that Bibi has him by his freaking balls is just making it worse. And also, like, around Easter, it just makes it even that much more worse. It technically is blasphemous. It's disrespectful as a leader of the country, which I could have said he's never had the qualities of a leader. But we're all starting to see it now. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it all day. But honestly, like, we can't forget that Barack Obama wore a tan suit once. So.
Hey, he was a war criminal too. He was a tan suit. He was a war criminal in a tan suit.
He bombed just as much, if not more, than Trump
Barack Obama. I think Barack Obama is worse than Bush. I'm just playing to the little hypocrisy. Both sides are cults. I think extremist Republican and extremist Democrats, they're really tribal. I think they're both just as bad. I'm just trying to point to the fact that they're all a little hypocritical, because once you're tribal, that's just where you stick. You already picked a side. You're gonna twist into a pretzel and try to make sense of it to fit your narrative and your point of view, not the other way around.
Well, Gray, I have this clip for you. This lady, she says she's on the right, she's a conservative, and she is offended. I want you to think about this question and answer it after I play it. When do you think it should have been too far that Trump voters should have regretted it? Here we go.
Do I agree with this post that I literally woke up to this morning, by the way? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is blasphemous at the highest level. Donald Trump depicting himself as Jesus Christ. This bothers me, and I'm absolutely disturbed and disgusted by it. And I may get attacked from some fellow conservatives and MAGA supporters for downing this post. But here's the thing. If you are a Christian and you see nothing wrong with this, like you're not bothered by it in the slightest, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. You're a part of the problem. Because here's the thing. Even though I'm a conservative, I am allowed to not agree with every single thing my president does, thinks, or says. It's called having critical thinking skills. It's called having independence of thought. And the people that seriously take everything he says for the gospel, but then get mad when a leftist calls them acting cultish, when you literally are acting cultish, you can't get mad. You cannot get mad at that. There's tons of things.
So, Gray, when should MAGA have jumped off the train and Trump supporters? At what point do you think you would have voted? Pretend like you're a conservative. Would you have regretted voting for Trump? Was it like the first weekend? Like, what was the one thing that you think would have sent you over the edge where you would have said, I regret this?
It's hard for me to pretend like I'm a conservative, but what I'll say with MAGA is that it is hard when people are complaining that voted for Trump, and I hear from the Democrats and I tell them, hey, you have to let people come to their own conclusions, and they jump down somebody's throat and say, oh, this is what you voted for, this is what you voted for. So I won't say when someone should feel someone towards Trump, feel a negative reaction towards Trump, because people told us, oh, Joe Biden's a corpse, you should have not liked this and this and that. So I can't give a specific timeline on that. I think people have to grow to their own conclusions and what's best for them. Because for me personally, Trump moved like he in the streets. So for me, I know enough street guys. I don't need a street guy to be the president.
Okay, so there's not one particular thing. You can't even like say this is the one thing.
I mean, if Obama's house would have got raided before he was about to campaign, you think he would have won?
Yeah.
Wow.
People don't want, we want freedom. We don't want a banana republic. People don't want a government that's being weaponized against any candidate. I do think that's 90% of why, I'll say 70% of why Trump won. And then when they tried to take him out, I believe that was what solidified the vote. But Jeff, you're not a pretend conservative. Like, I'm done with Gray tonight. He's not playing. What was the one thing for you that you feel made you regret voting for Trump? Because privately you told me you kind of regret voting for him with the way everything's going.
Yeah, but so I'd like to separate something, though, that a lot of people in my TikTok comments say. They say, you know, we're always going to hold you to who you voted for. And because even if you change for 2 weeks, or even though it's been more than 2 weeks of me posting anti-Trump stuff, they say, you know, you brought him into office. And it's like, well, you're supposedly the open-minded individuals. How come I'm criticized, whereas I'm actually changing and realizing my beliefs are wrong because of the files, everything I saw in the files, whereas you guys get to say, you know, oh shit, like all these conservatives who, sure, they're coming like to the right side now, but they're misguided because of who they voted for. But it's a hindsight is 2020, right? We could say that about, excuse me, we could say that about Biden. We could say that about Obama after certain things. So it just depends. And I think being willing to accept change and seeing who people are for who they are. Like initially, I didn't vote for him based on his character. I knew that he had character flaws, right? But who am I going to vote for? Someone who promotes conservative values that I traditionally have stood by. I stand by like conservative traditional values when it comes to policy. But when it comes to certain other things, I have more liberal takes. Now, was Kamala going to be the best one for that? No, out of the two, it was going to be Trump. And that's, you know, you have to separate the art from the artist and the character from the person and the policies that they're advancing. And so once I saw that not only is he completely corrupt in the files, but he's no longer advancing the policies he set out to push, then it's like, come on, man, I can't support you. And then it's the same if I had voted for, let's say I voted for fake Biden in 2020, since he supposedly wasn't even real. I would say, look, I'm supporting him because of the policies that he's pushing. He's not an extremist leftist. But then once he stops, like basically he was just a puppet, right? So once he stops pushing his own policies and just the extreme left controls him, and it's like, oh man, I can't support him either. And I wish that leftists would see that there's that, you know, it's a difference, but it's the same with both parties, if you see what I'm saying.
Mia, go ahead. You said you have something to say.
And I think Jeff brings up a very valid point. So I feel like People need to remember during this last election cycle, we had the best of the worst. Kamala was absolutely not the best that Democrats could do, period. Point blank, period, full stop. And Trump was not the best that the Republicans can come up with either. We had two really shitty choices. We had a crazy business dude and a drunken wine lady who couldn't form two sentences together. Now, do I think she's intelligent? Absolutely. Do I think she was a good lawyer? Debatable. However, at the end of the day, we had two really crappy choices. This country had to offer two really shitty choices. And it's looking like the Democrats really haven't weeded out good choices either because they're falling for the same trap anyways. I mean, they're lucky that right now so many people are disillusioned by Trump. But I think the biggest crux for me is people rather point and say that we're traitors and we're terrible, blah, 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 instead of having that open line of discourse, because now I'm on the same level as you. Like now you and I are on the same connection when it comes to this. So it makes more sense for us to be in the fold, for you to take me into the fold and gain another voter. But instead, you're going to disparage me, you're going to cuss me out, you're going to be crazy. So now I'm going to get pissed off. But, you know, these people are just fucking weird.
Andre, where do we go from here? I mean, at this point, once the cult of personality passes on, he's going to pass on in the next 5 to 10 years. What is the future for the conservative movement, in your opinion?
Well, I was of the opinion, and you know, this is separate from other people who've talked about this extensively. I had this opinion and drew this conclusion on myself a few years ago that, you know, Trump losing would have been good for us, for the right, because it would have energized us going into the 2030s and creating a more nationalistic, more populistic candidate that can actually bring change. Because regardless, you're going to get a clash of both the left and the right eventually. I mean, it's inevitable. It's Hegelian dialectics at this point. It's going to happen. You're not going to sit back and have like, we're going to come together and sing Kumbaya and eat ice cream together. That shit's over. This isn't the fucking 90s. But right now, I mean, honestly, not in the retarded way accelerationism, but it's just kind of just the natural progression of how things go, that things get worse. And then after they get better from the worst. People learn like, okay, this was a bad time. We, you know, learn from what happened and things are going to improve. That's what's going to happen in America. And there's no avoiding it. There's no, you know, going around it or trying to give a hug to it. It's just we have to accept it. And, you know, it's funny watching most of these boomers and Gen Xers like, you know, oh, Trump can do no wrong. Trump's a troll. I didn't vote for a fucking troll. I voted for a leader that would push my ideas and my worldview forward. That's all I really care about. This is a very selfish perspective with me. I don't really care about the Republican Party. My family's voted Republican for generations now. I can say that, and I have documentation to prove that amongst my family. I've been shown that by people in my family. And, you know, I grew up in a household where we voted for, you know, McCain and Romney. We were McCain and Romney supporters early on. So you're not talking to someone who just became conservative last week, like Brandon Tatum and fucking, I don't know, the Mr. Meat person you showed earlier. These people are new to the shit. Whereas many of us who have been around for a long time, if you're a nationalist, if you're someone who is far right as I am, we voted for Trump because he was going to put America first. He was a change in direction, a change in course. He was shitting on the Republicans and the Democrats. And this was a good change in direction of what we wanted. And we're not getting that. We're getting more pro-Israel shit. I mean, what did this fucking, what does Mulatto say? Oh, he's done so much for religious liberties. Yeah, maybe for the synagogue, but not for Christians. Immigration is dog shit. We're not getting the mass deportations. We're not even getting the National Guard still deployed in some cities. Crime is not going down. We're not even getting like a crime bill like we should, honestly. We're getting a half-assed job. And now we're going to watch thousands of troops go into Iran, possibly, either to take Karg Island or, you know, we're going to see maybe a nightmare scenario. Nobody fucking voted for that. From 2015 to now, nobody voted for that. We voted against that unanimously. And to be told that, you know, I'm a traitor, I'm a Democrat now because I don't like watching the president depict himself as Jesus. I didn't like Obama and, you know, Biden doing the same gay shit with the White House. What was it like the gay tranny Last Supper during the Biden administration? I didn't like that shit either. So there's not like, oh, well, where were you when they did that? Niggas saying the same shit. And we're still here saying the same shit now. So these people who are just bootlickers, fuck off, honestly.
We're going to transition. We're going to answer a question: is MAGA a cult? I'm going to play you guys what the definition of a cult is, and we'll all go around after saying if we think MAGA is a cult, yes or no. Here we go, because I think people need to be reminded what a cult is.
You might have heard of the term cult, but what exactly is a cult and how can you identify one? Hey, it's Dan Zimmerman and welcome back to Illustrate to Educate. In this short video, we'll dive into an explanation of cults, covering key characteristics, Stephen Hassan's bite model, examples, and some important considerations. And if you find this video to be helpful,
Back in high school?
be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and consider supporting the channel by becoming a member like these fantastic members here. A cult is generally a group that revolves around a set of unusual or extreme beliefs and practices, often centered on a charismatic leader who demands total loyalty. In simple terms, cults are groups where a leader or core belief system exerts a strong influence over every aspect of its members' lives. One useful framework for understanding how cults maintain such control is the bite model, developed by cult expert Stephen Hassan, which we will look at in a minute. Next, let's look at 5 key characteristics of a cult. First is charismatic leadership. Cults typically have one or a few leaders who claim to have special knowledge or divine insight. This leader's word becomes almost unquestionable among the members. Second is unusual beliefs and practices. The belief system in cults are often very different from mainstream society views. They might include apocalyptic visions, secret teachings, or claims that only members can access the truth. Third is control and isolation. Many cults use strict rules and practices to control members. They often isolate individuals from family and friends and closely monitor daily life. This isolation helps the group maintain power over its members. Fourth is exploitation. In some cases, cults take advantage of their members financially, emotionally, or even sexually, further deepening the dependency on the group. Lastly is high commitment. Members typically invest significant time, money, and personal energy into the group. This deep commitment can make it very difficult to leave, even if the group's practices begin to cause harm. The bite model of cult control, developed by Stephen Hassan, provides a comprehensive way to understand the mechanisms of control in cults. B stands for behavior control. Cults often dictate many aspects of daily life, including how members dress, what they eat, when they sleep, and even how they interact with others. This rigid structure limits personal freedom and reinforces dependence on the group. I stands for information control. Controlling the flow of information is a key tactic. Cults may censor outside sources, restrict access to alternative viewpoints, and use propaganda to reinforce their beliefs. By managing what members see, hear, and read, the group can maintain a closed system of ideas. T stands for thought control. This involves shaping members' thinking through indoctrination and repetitive messaging. Cults employ thought reform techniques that discourage independent thinking and encourage adherence to the group's ideology. Rituals, repetition, and the framing of
All right, now that I'm taking over, that was boring. Let's start at the top. Kim, is MAGA a cult?
Yes. They fit the description to a T, 100%. And that fifth description, where people who invest a lot of time, I have like a lot of people that came to my head. But yes, of course. To be fair, the lefty liberals get culty too. So, but 100%.
Ratchet Christian, is MAGA a cult?
Absolutely not, if we're going by what was just described, honestly. And if we are cult members, then we're very unruly because we are the ones who are actually bucking up at what it is that we voted for. I feel like the left, they fit that bill and the description actually as they were going through it. And I'm being open-minded about this, by the way. As they were going through the description, I'm like, they're describing the Democratic Party. You have to be lock in step with every policy that they put out there, or else you're not a real Democrat. They reject each other. They police each other. Even when we come around as conservatives and take accountability for the decisions that we make, we can't be accepted by them because we had a different thought from them. So there is this school of like groupthink that is policed by other Democrats and by other liberals. And if you step out of that even just a little bit, you get kicked out of that group. And so for me, I don't really feel like MAGA is a cult because we are not obeying our cult leader. You know, we hold his feet to the fire when he's not doing what it is that we want him to do. And I never see the Democratic Party do that. They waited until Biden was almost a corpse before they admitted that he wasn't in charge anymore, you know? And so to get back to the beginning of the episode when that guy had done the video talking about how he admitted he was wrong and he was being attacked in his comments, it kind of woke me up to something in that, you know what, I don't need forgiveness from the Democrats for voting for Trump. I don't need their acceptance. I don't need them to give me anything, you know what I mean? And so as conservatives, I don't feel like we need to come back groveling at their feet like, oh, we were wrong and we shouldn't have done this and this and that, because when Biden was running the country into the ground for 4 years, they never came back and asked us for forgiveness. They never, when they wanted to come over to the conservative side and vote for Trump, it was open arms. They were like, we were wrong. You know, everything that happened, we were like, yeah, come on in, always embracing them. But then as conservatives, as we're trying to have a level of humility and be like, man, we're not getting what it is that we're voting for, we're being slapped in the face. And so it just kind of made me realize, you know what, they're not Jesus. I don't need forgiveness for anybody because of how I voted. I'm an adult. I take responsibility for my choices, and I reserve the right to change my mind when I'm presented with new information. And so to get back to the answer of your question, Democratic parties and, you know, liberal ideology fits the bill to a T for me for what being in a cult is, because MAGA ain't it. We're very bad cult members.
Okay, so
Ray, do you believe MAGA's a cult?
Absolutely, because and I'm gonna use the new party as an example. The new party has had several people. We've done stuff with everybody of all different political ideologies, and the left does have cult-like features as well, because they won't even interact with someone that's MAGA, so they do stuff like that as well. But the issue I have with MAGA is that it's not like you're looking for information. I'm not talking about all MAGA members. It's not like you're looking for information. You're looking for something to confirm what you already think. And I think that trait is what makes MAGA a cult.
Damn. Jeff, is MAGA a cult?
Damn, skip me.
Based off of,
you're
Andre.
going to be next. Oh,
sorry.
Go ahead, Andre.
You know what? Let Jeff go. Let Jeff go. He already started speaking.
I had some things to say after the Ratchet Christian. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but you have nice ideas. However, you know, I disagree with you slightly. Because if we go by the definition that guy gave, then we have to admit that it's not just leftism, but it's certain leftist leaders. Like Obama, for example, ran a cult. Did Biden run a cult? No, he was a puppet. Did Trump run a cult? For sure. Did the Austrian painter run a cult? For sure. I'm said to have a cult-like following on my TikTok, which some people would argue whether I'm charismatic. I think I am. You know, but in all seriousness, if we're going by that definition and then the rest of the group think, and basically that the followers do stuff that is deleterious to their own interests and following the leader despite him having beef with the Pope or with Christians, which is the majority of his base, I think then we are looking at a cult, if you want me to be frank. Now, is it the best thing to admit? No, but I think being straight up and down, that's how it is.
Okay, sorry, Andre. I can tell Jeff had something you want to say. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andre. Is MAGA a cult?
No, I don't even think the left is a cult. I disagree with majority of the people here. I think that we're looking at tribalism, and this is political tribalism, and that's just natural. It's always going to exist no matter what you do or what you say. There's always going to be tribes that are formed racially, ethnically, religiously, politically, and there are different layers to it. And there's always going to be popular figures and popular leaders and popular traits that we all adhere to. And there's going to be, of course, things that you will not be able to do based on what is defined within that tribe, within that popular movement. So we're witnessing a struggle between two popular movements in this country, from the left and from the right. And this is what you're saying. And of course, you're going to have manipulation from, and this goes kind of, when it comes to nature, it's really just top down. Class and race are tied into it. And then the artificial one is just political left and right. That really doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. Democrat or Republican, these people sing to the same tune. They march to the same drum. The peasants, the modern day peasants that we see every day, We think it's like, well, I'm a Republican and I'm a Democrat and I'm just as worthy as they are. No, you're not. You are a serf, if anything. You are a peon. You will do whatever they tell you. You'll go out and vote when they say go vote. You'll get on Twitter and cry when they say cry. You'll get on CNN and say, oh my, I'm watching CNN. I'm watching Fox News. And you don't even realize that you really don't have any your own thoughts or beliefs. We just saw this with the Brandon Tatums and all these other fucking people. They come out the moment to sing the tune of the establishment, and then the common folks sit back and say, "Oh, I agree." It's like, okay, nigga, it's great that you agree with the words of those who control you. Whereas I think many of us here understand that we have our own ways of thinking. We understand we can look at things beyond the left and right paradigm and understand this is a position of power. We're looking at people at the top who are ruling in this country and have taken these movements that start off very genuine. The MAGA movement started off as a very genuine nationalistic populist movement. I would say the left in 2012 during Occupy Wall Street was a very socialistic, very genuine socialistic, and actually could have some achievement, actually could have went somewhere had they been successful. But what happened in 2012? They put the race politics and the transgender or homosexual shit into it, and it became garbage. What happened to MAGA? It went into this evangelical pro-Jew, we have to go die in the Middle East garbage. And now we're seeing a third way forming in this country from those who are coming from both the left and the right. They're saying we will reject both, and something new will rise from that. And that's why, like I said, at the end of the day, people, all of us here that are on this panel, the way we're looking at things is going to be the normal in about 5 to 10 years. Right now, it may not be the normal. It may be, you'd be challenged and attacked for saying these things, but in due time, we will be the ones saying like, hey, we were right. And people will flock to our ideas more so than to the ideas of the current. And that's just always going to happen throughout nature and throughout how things are, as long as humans exist and build structures and hierarchy. So, yeah, this is how I'm viewing it.
Mia, I'll give my opinion too, but last but not least, what is MAGA a cult to you?
No, it's an ideology. It's an ideology that it's a system of thought process that forms the basis of the policies and customs that people want seen. It's not a cult. You can quit being MAGA at any given point in time and have zero repercussions. You're not kicked out of your house. Your electricity's not shut off. People aren't waterboarding you. I mean, it's not that deep. It is literally just an ideology. It's a system of thought that people want to see manifest into the government. It is literally it. Liberalism is the exact same thing. They're not cults. They're just ideologies that people want seen. Now, do people take them to the extreme? Sure. Do people get violent? Sure. But that is their personal choice to do that. Liberalism and MAGA are literally just ideas that people want to see manifest in economic ways for their country as a whole.
Well, if I'm going off that video, people are losing relationships with their families. They going broke sending money. And this is for both sides. So do I believe that the ideology is a cult? Not necessarily, but I believe there are cult followers of President Trump, just like there are cult followers of Obama, just like there are cult followers of the Democratic Party. If you're losing friendships, if you're losing relationships, if you're causing violence in the streets, if you can't control yourself, you are legit in a cult. And if you cannot be okay with people questioning the president, you are a cult member. That's my answer. So I think there are cult members. I don't think the ideology is necessarily a cult. But we have our first super chat of the night. This is for Andre. Bob on site said, I'm only a fanatical member of Andre's cult. So Andre, you and Jeff got y'all cult going on. So look at you guys.
You had another super chat. You purposely skipped it.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Let's see.
Jesus
I knew it was you. I was going to pull it
up. Are hurting my ears. Let me tell you, boo boo, ain't no 304s here. Although we do have 3 people here with multiple baby daddies, so we'll have that conversation for Andre another night. We got something planned for Andre pretty soon.
I'm on my second. I'm looking for my third. If anybody out there makes more than 500,000.
Third. Oh.
Kim, I saw a bunch of men in the comments are vibing. You get to start. Everybody needs to start dropping what their tax return was. We need to start knowing what your fiscal amount per year is.
Nobody from my side. Y'all better not take that shit. I don't give a fuck what you see, but nigga, you better pull the curtain back and you'll find out. Right? Sorry, Kimberly. I'm sorry. Gotta
We're
protect
gonna
my
do that
flock.
for you one night, Andre. We're gonna have a relationship night. Maybe
I
we'll do
would
that
love-
next week, Andre.
I
We
would
need
love
to
to
have
talk about
a good conversation with you because the ladies here, we all say, we wonder how Andre would feel when he knows that we all got 2 baby daddies each. How would he feel about that? Because clearly that's the problem for Andre.
You're gonna have. I'm gonna be Timu Kevin Samuels. I'll be Timu Kevin Samuels. We'll have the
Not
conversation.
Timu, not the Timu
I don't want y'all to
version.
hate me after it. Don't hate me after it. All right.
I do want to clarify, Ratchet. When I was speaking to the people who are being in a cult, I meant the people we're reacting to. I didn't mean the people who are defecting from the said cult, because there are like Nora said it better. There are cult-like members who follow certain leaders, not necessarily like a cult commune. But I'm speaking about the people that I reacted to who keep toeing the line. That's who I'm talking about. So not the people who are brave enough or smart enough to think for themselves.
Well, thank you. I know exactly what you meant by that.
And that's okay. We don't all have to think the same on if they're a cult or not. Because child, this
I
past
felt
week,
that Ratchet Christian answer was a cult-like answer. She immediately attacked the left as
Did
soon
you?
as
Denial?
she said, "Oh, it's the MAGA cult." Oh
it's
no,
just
but the left is the cult. That's a cult.
Stop.
answer.
No. It's just a
I
little bit
will
of
say,
denial goes a long way.
if it's a competition, the liberals win, because at least within the populist right, you get like they force the vote on the House, the Speaker of the House. You will never see the progressives hold a fucking vote or stand up to anybody in the leadership of the Democratic Party. So they take the cake.
Bob Sight said, sorry, Kim, I only meet the income requirements. He's not 6 foot. Are you okay with a guy that's not 6? What's your minimum height, Kim? The guys want to know in the
if
chat.
he makes more than 500,000 a year, that's good enough.
Even if he's 4'9", what
He can
about
stand on his
5'1"?
money.
I'm just
Okay.
I'm sorry. Just so everybody knows, I'm being funny. I'm totally being funny. Okay.
Okay. We'll answer the height requirement. We'll talk about it when we do our IRL. We'll talk about it. All right, guys, we're almost done. I just have a couple more things we're gonna talk about. For me, I just feel like I'm a follower of Christ. I don't even want to call myself a Christian now because these people that are Christians now, I don't even know any. But anyways, I've seen some blasphemous stuff over the years, and I just want to play a couple of them because that pic was bad. I'm not gonna lie. But it's not as bad as some of the things I've seen. Let's check out this Black mega church, what they did in the Easter production a few years ago.
Let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die young. Just to die young. Let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die young. Na 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 na. We'll turn into a hot spot, to a hot spot, to a hot spot. Na 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 na.
I mean, it's a concert. How much was the ticket?
Stop the trap. Let me stay back. They just okay. Give me a minute and I'll be right back.
I'll type a little bit. It's not 10%. I'm too broke for that, but I'll give you 2% to see this live.
We were saying, Dragon, this is what you need to do. Step 1, find you a baddie. Okay. But step 2, he gotta have
Oh my fucking goodness.
Can they rent those girls from Bad Girls Club? Somebody called Natalie Dunn. We got our girls on stage at a church.
Girl, we keep telling you it's okay. Your little booty
I seen these hoes at the gas station an hour ago.
They don't be discriminating.
This is demonic.
I just have to say, I love Beyonce, but as a follower of Christ, there are multiple things about her music that is the definition of demonic. Just putting it out there for those of you that haven't been at church. Ratchet, I'm assuming you go to church on the weekly like me. Would you attend a church that played that? Why should we or shouldn't we attend a church that plays that?
So I know exactly the church that is, and sometimes I've listened to the pastor's preaching, and honestly, that particular pastor is Pastor Mike Todd. When I was a single woman trying to, really just be serious about my relationship with Jesus and giving my life to Jesus, it was actually his teachings on fornication that helped me to stop having sex outside of marriage before I got married. So I will give a pastor their flowers when they need it. I do feel like somewhere along he started right, and then somewhere along the way he lost his way. But there was a time where his blessings his teachings did bless me. They really helped me to get closer to God. But with that whole production, I feel like the money could have better been spent elsewhere, and it was really blasphemous. It did kind of get dark and demonic, and it's just not appropriate. I feel like if it was like a theater show, something separate from the church, something that they did on their own time and not in the sanctuary and didn't spend church money on it, and it was just separate, then maybe it would be okay. But to do that in God's house on a holy day for Easter in the congregation, it was inappropriate. But I pray for that pastor because he started right. I don't know what happened.
Andre, are you familiar with Mike Todd?
Name rings a bell. Enlighten me.
Allegedly, there's rumors that that he's kind of like on the down low. Allegedly.
Oh, he's gay. He's a fucking faggot. That's what he is.
Allegedly. So my question to you is, do you think that possibly the leaders of the church, I'm not going to say in particular, have outside sin and their judgment, their discernment is clouded, and that's why they allowed that? What do you think about the direction of the church today and seeing something like that?
I mean, when we look at a lot of the Protestants, I mean, it's, and mind you, I'm not a Catholic, by the way. I'm not really into Catholicism or anything like that. But for a lot of these Protestants, especially in the Black community, these niggas are gay. These niggas are whores. They're all over the place. I mean, if you're going to do what you do, just be honest with it. Don't sit here and bullshit and try to put, I'm the holiest of holy, and you out there fucking all the time and you taking in the ass. I mean, come on now. Don't pretend. Be real. Be honest with it. Say what you are, and people will present you. And I think God will understand that and accept that as well. But the moment you start playing this game, I'm a good nigga. Okay. All right. Let's check that browser history and let's go through that phone. All this nigga named Dylan. How many Dylans you had this week, Mr. Pastor Deacon? So, I don't know what the story is with him, but if he's on the down low, he's on the down low. And typically it's like Tyler Perry. They got beards. It's always that. They got a wife. They got a woman. You know what I'm talking about? The Tyler Perry shit. Oh, he got a girl, and he out here fucking Brad and shit on the side. He's sitting there posing with Jenny and Jessica, but Brad taking it after the fact. Some trapped in the closet shit going on. Some shit going on. So that's my view on it. That's.
Well, he's not the only one that has done blasphemous things. Let's watch America's first pastor, Paula White, Trump's pastor.
And strike 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 until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory, God. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of shouting and singing. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. For I hear
somebody's
victory,
in the BDSM.
victory, victory, victory in the corridors of heaven. In the corridors of heaven, victory, 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 victory.
Oh,
for angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa kata rite eke banda ata rike didi ashata. For
Let's
angels
get a
are
grip
even
on that.
dispatched from Africa right now.
When they talk about legions and demons entering humans, this is how I feel like they sound. She has been possessed by legion.
They're coming here. They're coming
This is
here.
some Pentecostal shit right
They're
here.
coming here. from
Speaking in
Africa,
tongues is a
from
gift, but
South
speak
America,
not. This
angelic
isn't it.
forces, angelic
This is not
reinforcement,
Christ-like.
angelic reinforcement, angelic reinforcement. Fika hata anda ata, ora bata rata
She
ande
sound like the
eki eka
pastor from
mata rasata.
what
For
was it,
I
Coming to
hear the
America?
sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory.
I'm
I
just
hear the
amazed by
sound
how
of
her glasses
victory.
are hanging
And
I
off.
who
hear
the
the
fuck is the
sound of
dude walking
victory.
on the
I
stage?
hear the
What the fuck
sound
is
of
going
victory.
on?
That's her
I hear
son.
the
They got
sound of victory.
they got buckets and shit and bottles.
So
What the fuck is
let
going on
me
the stage?
let me tell you this. I actually was a member of a church that her ex-members came from, and they said when she started aligning with Trump, the church started to change. She started to whiten the church. I can tell you that from experience. She removed the gospel choir. She had her husband doing the service. It was very odd because me and Gray went to a few of her services. Gray will tell you, but nevertheless, over the years, like she just got more and more money hungry, like the 10%, the 20%. You got a blessing, God will bless you. And the other thing is, hearing people talk in tongues makes me extremely uncomfortable. I believe the Bible's very clear that if you talk in tongues, you should have a translator there. So I don't know why she's doing that. If you ever listen, and it's so interesting when I hear people talk in tongues, they're like they do the same one every time. It's like, wait a minute, that's not what tongue sounds like. Jeff, have you ever gone to a service where you heard people talking in tongues, and what was your thoughts?
Hunger, 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 hunger. Sorry, I had to get my spirits out of me real quick. No, but no, and I've been to black churches. My best friend growing up was black, and his grandmother took me in, and we went to Baptist church in Alabama all the time. Nothing like that. Nothing even close. It's crazy that a white lady's doing that. She's trying to. It's funny that she's whitewashed the church because she's trying to make it look like it's some African joke or something there. Who speaks like that? Who talks like that? I don't know. That's just wild.
She definitely did whitewash the church. Greg, when you got to see her preach, what did you think of Paula?
Well, the part that you didn't mention is that they make you stand up and they make you take an oath to her and her husband. That's what I thought was extremely awkward. But what you're talking about with Paula White is prosperity preaching. That's Joel Osteen, that's Creflo Dollar, that's TD Jakes. They tell people, hey, if you give me this much money, you're going to get this in your life. So people give up their life savings. People give up. It's all these videos that went viral of them getting upset with Paula White too when they ask for a certain amount of money and if people don't give that money. And that's one of the biggest issues I think most people have with Christianity and church is that it's starting to seem like it's all about money and for the pastor to get rich.
I got one more clip. I'm gonna let the ladies answer because I'm not just gonna be talking about black churches. We're gonna talk about some white churches too. Here we go.
On the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together, with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders.
So this was a real video from a real church, guys. This was from New Zealand in 2024. It's called Jesus and the Boys. The name of the church is Grace Vineyard Church Easter video parody. So I didn't make that up. This is all really out there. Mia, you had a very, excited reaction about it. If this was at your local church, would this call you to join the congregation and be a 10% tithing member each week, religiously, faithfully, like they want?
Oh, girl, no, I'm cheap like a Jew. Ain't nobody get me in the church, girl. I'm cheap like a Jew. Ain't nobody get me in the church. I ain't paying nobody to hear somebody speak.
It's tax deductible, though. And I have seen, I'm a giver. I'm a cheerful giver. And I do see it back. So just throwing it out there.
I will say though, it's very interesting. This video is from obviously, 2 years ago. The man had, the white robe with like the red sash, which is interesting because Trump's AI video we saw, his little picture had a white robe and a red sash depicting Jesus. So, I mean, it's just funny how this has all come together now. I will say a little fact. I so badly in the 90s wanted to see Backstreet Boys in concert so badly. It's sad that they ruined it for me. I wanted to see Backstreet Boys so badly. I was like 8 years old, begging my mother to take me to Backstreet Boys, and I was not able to. And she sees this. Mom, I haven't forgiven you.
Kimberly, What about you? I know you go to church each week. What's your thoughts on the video? Would you attend this church?
I just want to follow me up with NSYNC was where it's at. I grew up in one of those prosperity churches. I have like a disgust for mega churches now. I don't tithe. I believe in mutual aid. We need to tax the churches. This is why. This is getting ridiculous. Also, there's no biblical, no verse that says it has to be 10%. If you hear any church say 10% or any percent, you should not do that. That is culty. Speaking of cults, and which I've seen firsthand because I grew up going to the Rock, huge mega church right here in Anaheim. And I've seen Joel Osteen speak. I've seen his wife speak, and I think it's completely antithetical to the teachings of Christ. I think after a church gets to a certain level, a certain amount of people, it needs to start splitting it and setting other smaller churches around. That's what the Bible says. But when they get really big and they start doing these concerts like this, that's not Christ-like at all. And I'm letting you guys right now, if Christ was here, he would not be sitting with those multi-million-dollar mega homes with their pastors and their friggin' yachts. He would not be there. He would be on Skid Row helping the needy. So yeah, this honestly, you didn't have to play the whole thing. Honestly, we got. Oh my God, I can't believe I got myself to sit through that whole thing, out of respect for you. But that is blasphemous. It really is, and I get really passionate about it because I've seen firsthand a lot of horrible things that happen in mega churches, and no, this does not, I don't think, convince anybody to join the church and the teachings of Christ. So.
Well, I had to show you the clip to show how bad it could be.
No,
Poor
yeah,
Trump. He's been hung out to dry for just a picture of him in a red robe. Like, honestly, he's a doctor. So, I had to show it.
He's not a doctor, and there's nothing Christ-like about Trump. He's literally the 7 deadly sins incarnate. So.
Anywho, we're going to start with closing thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching, if you haven't already hit the like button, please support Andre, Jeff, and the new party by hitting the like button. Also subscribe. So ladies first. Mia, what's your closing thoughts? You're muted, dear.
My closing thoughts are, I'm going to do a shout out to T Pose until WW3 stayed consistently commenting and being a troll. I really love that. I'm so glad you did that. It's going to hit the algorithm. It actually encouraged more people to comment. So thank you. Next time, don't be so cheap and send a super chat. Don't be a cheap bitch.
Yeah, don't be cheap and go follow Mia since you're a fan of Mia's. Make sure you go follow her. Ratchet, thank you for coming. I'm so sorry about today, but you held it down. You came. I love the background. I love what you're doing, girl. What's your closing thoughts to let everybody know where they can find you?
Well, everyone can find me everywhere at the Ratchet Christian on all the platforms. And don't be sorry, I love the new party. I'm always excited to be a guest on this show. My only problem with the last video that you played of the Jesus and the Backstreet Boys was the fact that Jesus was white. We all know Jesus is black. Like, come on. They had one black guy in the video. He could have played Jesus. That's my problem. No, but in all seriousness, it is blasphemous, but it's like, you know what? We take it on the chin, we move on, we know how the story ends. And so I'm a comedian myself. I can laugh at myself. I can laugh when something's funny. What Trump did wasn't funny, but that one was like, well, it was all right. And closing thoughts, I'm just grateful, for this show and that there's a platform where people with different opinions can come and have a productive conversation. I feel like we need to keep doing that. We, the American people, not letting the government tell us what to think, but us getting together and, sharing our opinions. I think that's how things change. So I really enjoy each and every single one of you. I think you're all very intelligent people, and I enjoy the conversation that we had. So thank you.
Thank you. Make sure you guys go check out Ratchet. She's hilarious and she gives great Christian content. Kimberly, what's your closing thoughts?
She is hilarious. I like all her stuff. The cynical guy, he said, He said I'm a single cat lady. Bro, I am. I have 2 cats.
Yeah.
My cat just had babies yesterday. So, does anybody want any kittens?
Yeah, put them in a box and send them up here to Detroit. I'll take them.
Okay.
I already have 2 cats. No kittens over here. I'm good. And 2 dogs.
Oh man, this was a great show. I really needed it. I really appreciate all of you and all of your opinions. I love that none of us get emotional or offended. But yeah, I think that political parties and tribalism is culty. And I think it's getting worse, which scares me. You do see a wave of third parties rising up all throughout Europe, and I love to see it, but even they know that it's never going to happen here. Even here in my governor's race, they are using lawfare to try to keep Butch Ware off of the ballot, and they do that all the time with third parties. But I think I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it. Third parties only need 5% to receive federal matching funds the following year. That's all we need. We don't need a win. We just need 5%. Pick a third party, 5%. That's the goal. And yeah, be wary of the false prophets, because there's a lot of them out there. And have you guys ever seen that meme of that painting of the guy with the cigarette, and it says Jesus looking at his followers now? Oh my gosh, honestly, what an insult to Christianity. Because if you really just look at just the words of Jesus, they really are so beautiful. And I think that the real message of Jesus is what we need. And sadly, that's not what we're seeing. So all we can do is pray, and pray for the world, and pray for ourselves and each other. But thanks for having me. It was such a great episode today. Follow me at Kimberly Nell on all social media.
Yes, go give her a follow. Andre, what's your closing thoughts?
You already know what I'm going to say. The Trump pick, it's boring. Yay. I don't know why Trump is killing his entire base. He's going to get fucked in the midterms. It's going to be actually wonderful watching the show. I'm not tied to a political party. I don't give a damn about political parties at all. I only care about what's good to my interest, what supports my interest. It's gonna be fun watching this midterm cycle. It's gonna be a great show. We'll see how the war goes. Honestly, that's the more depressing part. The Trump stuff with the Jesus. Okay, yeah, that's honestly that music video was very depressing too to sit back and watch. I don't know how I got through that. It just reminded me like the "We Are Young." That's why I just all I heard. The fucking song, you know that song I'm talking about? We Are Young, and they played in the fucking club. So I can't stand that song. So it's that level of cringe. But yeah, that's all what I got to say. Shout out to the new party and everyone that's been on the panel. You know where to follow me. You know where to find me. There you go.
Thank you, Andre. Andre, what was Ratchet talking about the underbelly? Where's that? I want to find it.
Oh, soft white. You can look up soft white underbelly. We did an interview. I went out to LA, flew out there with Mark, great guy. We did about a 30-minute interview, so it was pretty good. So soft white underbelly. You look up the 4 different types of Black Americans. You'll find my video. I think his video as well. So it's I think it's sitting at 400,000 views right now, both my video and his video. So hey, it's a great thing. I love it.
Oh, great job, Jeff. What's your closing thoughts?
So a few things. I liked what Andre said before about tribalism. While I agree with that, so I want to break it down, talk about the cult and then the blasphemy. So tribalism, I think, is how political parties have historically been. And I think, unfortunately, we're turning toward cultish behavior. For example, I think like LGBTQ and the trans movement is very tribalistic. There's no leader for them, so there's no cult, but it is very tribalistic. And then let's say they get a leader in office or something, that'd be terrible. That'd be a crazy cult. So that's like if some extreme leftist got into office and start pushing those policies. Now, so I still stand firm on saying that I think MAGA has unfortunately developed into a cult. As far as the blasphemy goes, I think Trump took the top spot. The Beyonce and White Woman tied for number 2. And then the Backstreet Disciples, although they're cringe, definitely come in at third after all of that. But yeah, I that's my thoughts on everything. I think this was a good pod. Sorry for being a little late. Looking forward to the next one.
Jeff, I got to go to your live. It was so cool. You interacting with your fans, and like I feel like you're getting more, like tonight. I feel like you're a little bit more comfortable on the show, but I really liked your takes. So we definitely have to have like a non-political night just about like relationship stuff. Like
That's
so
what I was
next
going to
week,
say. If you have
that's
me and
what we're
Andre
doing.
doing relationship stuff, I think that would cook.
That's what we're gonna do next week, guys. What do you think, Andre? What do you think about that? Uh-oh.
Fantastic. Sign me up. I'll be there.
Okay, so next Tuesday, guys, the fellas, the ladies will be doing a relationship night. No politics unless something happens with Iran and we can't avoid it. But if we do, it'll be like 10, 15 minutes. Bray, what is your closing thoughts, my friend?
My closing thoughts is don't drink the Kool-Aid. Jonestown is the most known cult ever that came out. So if you feel like you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, think back, step back, adjust, and reevaluate whatever situation you're in. We do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow's topic, we'll be talking about Sneeko getting hit while live streaming unless anything changes. Like we always say at a new party, always vote. Oh, and Kimberly put us on. I was on TMZ.
Oh,
today,
sorry.
so that was a big thing. Thank you, Ratchet Christian, for putting that together. So for sure, I was on TMZ. I'll put that on YouTube so you guys can see that.
Well, yes, Ratchet did refer me, but I referred you. So you're welcome. But anyways, thank you to Ratchet Christian for coming. We really, really appreciate her partnership. If you guys are not already following her, please go check her out. I had the pleasure to see her live doing her comedy. Also, thank you to Greg, Kimberly, Andre, Jeff, and Mia for always coming and holding it down. We have a great, great team. So make sure you guys are following everybody. But my closing thoughts is this: the internet has turned outrage into a daily sport. We are offended by something every week. Rinse, repeat, offended, distract, repeat. The viral image posted by Donald Trump depicting himself as a Christ-like form was distasteful. I'm not going to lie. And I understand why it upset some. But guys, if we're being honest, the bigger concern shouldn't just be a controversial image on social media. It should be the actions and rhetoric that comes with him. And we have seen in the last year. Going after the leader of the Catholic Church like the Pope, or encouraging a culture where supporters attack anyone who holds a political figure accountable does far more damage to our political discourse than a meme ever could. Accountability should not be treated like betrayal, guys. I really think that if you're offended by a picture, you should be more offended by him overlooking the fact that we are actively supporting genocides around the world. We watched the genocide for the last 2 years. We look the other way. We're watching one unfolding right now in Lebanon. We're looking away. But instead, we're using our time and our resources to focus on a meme, guys. Really, like we need to be redirecting ourselves, focusing on the midterms, like Andre said. And outrage should mean something. If we're going to be appalled, let's be appalled about the things that actually affect human lives, not just the things that trend for a day online. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back with the new party team, 9 p.m. as well on Thursday. 8 p.m. as well on Thursday night. Thank you for supporting everyone. God bless. Good night.
Hello, history buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
To the encampment for freedom of future.
For liberty. This is what American patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
Our liberty is at hand. For freedom is proper. Secure our liberty. My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
Welcome to my colonial home. Today, Del Payne's new work captures the spirit of we fight for independence. And our freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Hour is late. We must enact. To the encampment for liberty. through every change and challenge. We stand at the dawn of liberty, unshaken by the trials ahead.
Soldiers, the enemy is near. Front line, flapping.